My intention was to connect more deeply with the astral realm, but what I did not expect was to make contact with a higher dimensional being. This is my story of how meditation and mushrooms led me to open contact. I consider myself an advanced meditator. I meditate daily, and through meditation, I have completely opened up my intuition. In addition to that, my dreams have become much more vivid, and I have found myself waking up inside of my dreams completely lucid on a regular basis. I have even found myself outside of my body, in the cosmos, surrounded by stars, and this has happened to me on multiple occasions. Once I started incorporating low doses of psilocybin mushrooms with meditation, I was able to access spaces and frequencies that I hadn't touched before. I was able to see auras. I was shown ancient symbols. I was able to see parallel realities lined up next to each other. My intuition became more than a quiet nudge. It was a full body knowing, a knowing of why I'm here, what my purpose is, and how the universe works. Now, years before I started my spiritual journey, I felt the urge to grow my own medicinal mushrooms, including ones that contain psilocybin. And at that time, I had no idea that I would be using them in this capacity. I believe that it's important to note that I grew my own mushrooms because in doing so, I directly incorporated my own energy into the mushrooms. I believe that it affected the way that I was able to experience them. Now let's get to the part where I made open contact with a higher dimensional being. One night, I received sudden inspiration to take a low dose of psilocybin mushrooms before going to bed. I put a small amount, probably half a gram, into my hands, and I took them right before hopping into bed. I set the intention that I would astral travel that night and remain completely lucid the entire time. Shortly after falling asleep, I felt a hard snap within my body, and that caused me to become lucid. All of a sudden, I was seeing geometric patterns moving and shifting and morphing into different animal faces. As I was watching these geometric patterns, I fell back into a deep sleep. After a while, I started to feel vibrations all over my body. They were almost violent, so much so that it snapped me into being lucid again. The vibrations instantly lifted me to a different dimension. I was in the cosmos, just like I had found myself many times before. But this time was different. I heard strange music playing loudly. It sounded like a combination of wind chimes and another instrument I hadn't heard before. But if I could describe it, I would think it's a bubble-shaped instrument that you blow air through. An oval-shaped portal opened up in front of me like a window. A tall, blue, bird-like being peered at me through the portal. She spoke to me as if she knew me. Her voice was deep and velvety and feminine. She told me, "You are an Arcturian," and she repeated that 3 times. There was another being behind her, simply observing. It seemed to be of the same species, but instead of blue, it was orange in color. In the middle of the portal, a dot appeared, with another symbol behind it, and I intuitively knew that if I focused on that point, I would be able to project myself fully into that dimension. I started to focus on that point, and I felt my body vibrating and being pulled into the portal. The feeling was so strange and uncomfortable that I became scared, and then I felt myself snap back into my physical body. While I knew I was back in my body, I still felt connected to this higher dimensional being. I apologized for getting scared. I explained that she is a stranger and I wasn't sure if I was ready, but I am now. I asked if we could try again. But this higher dimensional being stopped me, and she said, "Am I a stranger, or have you known me from ages ago?" I had so many questions running through my mind. We clearly had a past connection. I was gearing up to go again, and I was fully ready to travel to that dimension. I was trying to remain calm and get the vibrations to start back up. But this higher dimensional being told me, "It's okay, this was just an introduction." I found myself fully awake now in my bed, amazed at what I had just experienced. I felt like I needed to share this story. My higher self was absolutely urging me to tell it. I am not here to convince anyone. I'm just here to share what happened, because maybe there's someone out there who has experienced something similar. And if you have, I would love to hear about it. I don't know exactly why I was shown what I was, but I do know that the veil is thinner than we think. As I continue to have more of these experiences, I'll be sure to share them with you here. Thank you so much for listening.